One, first and foremost, we'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bahashem, the house of David. Amaya Shatat.
I'm correct, is that?
Coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back, you are the true children of Israel. Salvation belongeth unto you, and you alone. All right, starting with the 144,000 elect men, the first fruits of the Spirit that Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi has ordained, all right, from the foundation of the earth, okay? And the multitude of the men, women, and children, all right, who believe upon the testimony, okay? Have a lesson for you today. No title yet, but Lord willing, be edifying, uplifting unto the body. All right, go ahead and start.
Yep. 1 Peter 2:2, it says, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Right, as newborn babes. All right, so if you're just waking up to this truth, or even if you've been in the truth, all right, hey, as Apostle Tahar says, hey, you're supposed to learn something new every day, all right? Yeah, through repetition, all right? Through repetition, hey, you receive and get more understanding. Going over the same scriptures, hey, watching the same video, all right? Hey, it hits differently, all right? Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi gives you that true milk, all right? And desiring that true milk will lead you on to the stronger things, the stronger prophecies, the stronger deep dark sayings that Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi has imparted for who? His prophets, all right? So they may be broken down unto you and made plain upon tables, okay? This thing hasn't just come overnight and was just presented and like everything, it's a ready-made meal, okay? Hey, this is through searching and seeking the scriptures that Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi has provided this word, all right? Has provided understanding unto us. As we cry out and call on the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi, as the Holy Spirit has entered into us, so we are not those dry bones in the valley anymore, okay? You got something?
Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 3:2 in the NLT. It says, I had to feed you with milk, not with solid food, because you weren't ready for anything stronger. And you still aren't ready. For you are still controlled by your sinful nature. You are jealous of one another and quarrel with each other. Doesn't that prove you are controlled by your sinful nature? Aren't you living like people of the world? And this was Paul, speaking to the Corinthians, and they were pretty much, doing all types of stuff, idolatry, and, living after, heathenistic customs. That's why a lot of his writings were, a rebuke.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to come, that sinful nature he was talking about was carnality. But, customs of the heathen. And what did Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi say, in Paul's other writings? He said carnality is enmity with the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But he said he had to feed them with milk, being the basics, all right? That milk is, the foundation of the truth. They had to learn that, hey, you're Israelites, all right? Princes of the power. So now you have to, come back to righteousness. You have a responsibility to live a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You have to relearn, how to live. You got to learn how to walk.
Right.
You got to learn how to drink this milk off the teat. All right. And after you get built up, then you go into, the meat, right? But you have to, pretty much be born again. All right. and start, with the small things, but turn away from, all right, that, as I said, the sinful nature or those customs that were really going off that were taught to you before.
Right. You have to be born of the Spirit. All right. The Spirit of YAHAWASHI, that will preserve you.
Yeah. Or else you ain't going nowhere.
God. All right. It's going to make you whole. All right. It's going to give you all the nutrients necessary for you to grow thereby.
Yeah. Even, with the circumcision, what was the agreement that they came, to was, pretty much do the things that you could, that are in your means to do.
Right.
Stop eating abominable food, and doing and that's pretty much what's required of us now. Rehearse the righteous acts, because we can't, keep the law in entirety, and it wasn't made for us to keep the law in entirety, but this was pretty much a rehearsal. All right. And coming into the knowledge that, Yahawashi was that ultimate sacrifice.
And there's nothing or no one that could take that away.
Yeah.
All right, take that away from us through the Spirit and power of YAHAWASHI if we keep YAHAWASHI first.
Yeah. And you can't be a part of the world, man.
God.
You want to go back to 1 Peter? Or...
No, that was it.
Okay.
I got this is the book of Proverbs. It's going to be in Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 10, and it reads, "When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant, enter into thy heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul." All right, so that sincere milk leads you to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, the beginning of wisdom is the fear in YAHAWASHI. The beginning of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is understanding who you are and whose you are, your job, and what it is you are required to do. All right, in your job, nobody signs up and nobody goes to work and just clocks in and just gets to have a free for all. Okay, at one point in time, you were taught the directions, whether you choose to continue to do the right thing as far as your job or not. That's one thing. All right, but there was someone there to teach you. Okay, there was the program, there was the rules that were set forth. Orientation. Okay, the orientation is order. Okay, this is the order how to grow by YAHAWASHI's word.
Mm-hmm. You were instructed.
Yeah, come. All right, being instructed. Continuing on, verse 11, and it reads, "Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee." Right? So this is the way that you are preserved and kept. You are kept by the word of YAHAWASHI, and having the understanding that that milk, nurturing and building you up before you get to vegetables. As a baby goes next, fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, like a pure,
little puree. All right, a thicker substance. All right, so that you can still receive and you can still understand. Okay, and you can go down on that if you want. I just want to pull those up.
On
Peter.
Yeah. This is 1 Peter 2 and 3. It says, "If so be that ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Yahweh and precious." It says, "Yea, also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by YAHAWASHI HaMashiach.
Right. And what did it take? And it took the building up. All right. Hey, this word helps build that spiritual house. This word of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi is the foundation. All right.
Yeah. You have to have that life, you have to be brought back to, really resurrected, from being dry bones in the valley. All right. Same thing with, in Genesis when the breath of life was put in, that spirit was put into Adam. All right. That signified the law, statutes, and commandments,
This is going to be 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace of Yahawashi, of Mashiach Yahawashi. All right. Hey, so we are to be strong and to wait faithfully in truth for Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, continuing to follow after his way, teaching and searching and seeking the instruction. All right. Teaching that it is that we know what we have learned. All right. Believing through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, we are those prophets. Okay. Jumping down to verse 15, and it reads, study to show thyself approved unto the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, and a workman needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right. Hey, and dividing the word of truth is study. All right. Hey, milk and having milk, pureed vegetables, and having a full course meal. All right. Until eventually you're ready to eat some raw carrots. Okay. some I guess raw fruits. Okay. Then you step into meats. Okay. A baby just doesn't start chewing steak. Well, typically it goes what? Ground beef and chicken. Okay. That texture. All right. But this is what studying does. This is what it allows you. It allows you, hey, if you strive for Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi and you're searching and you're seeking, Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi allows you to receive, if the Holy Spirit is working with you, more wisdom, more knowledge, and understanding. All right? Being imparted. Okay? You got it. Second Maccabees 2 and 25.
Yep, this is 2 Maccabees 2 and 25. We have been careful that they that will read may have delight, and that they that are desirous to commit to memory might have ease, and that all into whose hands it comes might have profit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, because how did that come about? It came about through the sincerity, through receiving the milk and the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. Okay? Making it get further plain upon tables. Okay? So this word could be taught. This word could be have the proper interpretation, have the proper understanding. This is a precious gift that we have been given through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. So we have to continue to grow and to nurture this gift that was given. All right, I got it here. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2. It's like chapter 2, and it is going to be verse 2, and it reads, and the things that thou hast heard of Slakia, and the things that thou hast heard of me amongst many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. And the reason why you're able to teach others also through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi is having that sincere milk, all right, that grew and that you grew thereby and laid the foundation. The basics are more important, all right, are more important than you know and that you understand. Because if you don't understand the basics, you have no understanding. That's when you get a wayward doctrine. That's when you get IUI can't see. All right, hey, people misleading. All right, a fellow men and women of our nation. All right, and not calling them brothers and sisters because they're not. They're 2/3. All right. Yes, they're of the nation, but they're not of the house of YAHAWASHI because they care not for the word. All right, the true, sincere milk of YAHAWASHI.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Verse 3. Verse 3, and it reads, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of YAHAWASHI HaMashiach." All right. Hey, you got to harden yourself. You got to harden yourself after the way of YAHAWASHI, and not to really have the care for this world when the people turn their back on the word and deny the milk, deny the pureed vegetables. All right, because they first lack the basics. They lack the milk. So if they can't take hold of the milk, they will never understand. That's why it's imperative that you have the rooted faith in the basics, who you are and whose you are, and that you messed up, that there is a job to do, and there is a certain way to do it, and that 100% doctrine comes out of GMS, starting with our head Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rama, Apostle Rakah, the elders and the bishops, all the way down to the newest brother, teaching the same doctrine. It is sound. Slack it. Let's go into verse 5. Slack it. Continuing on. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. All right? To be a soldier in YAHAWASHI, because you were chosen to what? Hey, to receive the milk, to let go the affairs and the cares of this life. Because now you have purpose. Now you have the understanding. Now you are reassured in that which you have learned. All right? Because you have the sincere milk that was given by YAHAWASHI. In verse 5, and if a man also strive for mastery, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. And how can you strive for the mastery of YAHAWASHI if you don't have the sincere milk? How can you strive lawfully? If you slap the hand away, if you throw the milk on the ground, you've therefore thrown the crown away. You've thrown your crown away for YAHAWASHI. All right, in YAHAWASHI. Being prideful, not willing to be retaught, not willing to cling on to sound doctrine that YAHAWASHI has made plain upon tables, all right, through our apostles, all right, starting with the Apostle Dahar, all right, and the elder bishops on down, all right. Second Maccabees.
Start off where I left off.
Yeah, 26.
Second Maccabees, what chapter was 2? 2 and 26.
Yeah, 2 and 26. It says
there.
I jumped the gun, Salakia.
You're good. Therefore, to us that have taken upon us this painful labor of abridging, it was not easy, but a matter of sweat and watching. Even as it is no ease unto him that prepareth a banquet and seeketh the benefit of others, yet for the pleasuring of many, we will undertake gladly his great pains.
Right. Hey, no, hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, hey, when coming to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, prepare thyself for temptation. Prepare thyself for temptation. Prepare thyself for sorrows. All right. What we're Slovakia, we were talking about in Bible study Sunday. All right. This cup you surely shall drink of. All right. The two brothers, okay, that asked Yahushai if they could labor with him. All right. And it says
if they could sit on the right hand.
Sit on the right hand. One on the right and one on the left hand.
Of the throne.
All right.
So, do you know what you're asking me?
Mm-hmm. Entering into that labor. Because essentially, this is labor. All right? You are laboring for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You are laboring for your salvation. Okay? You got it.
Yes, it's leaving to the author the exact handling of every particular and laboring to follow the rules of an abridgment.
Mm-hmm. The rules of an abridgment. All right? And I believe that abridgment goes back to, I want to say, if I remember correctly, shorten.
Yeah, to shorten.
Yeah, to shorten. Right? So to shorten and to receive the rules and to get the rules and to be able to teach in a manner where it is still precise and exact. All right? With the laboring. Not making long work. Right? That was it. Yeah. Was that 29?
Yeah. Yeah, well, 29 says, for as the master builder of a new house must care for the whole building, but he that undertaketh to set it out and paint it must seek out fit things for the adorning thereof. Even so, I think it is with us.
All right, and the master builder first being Yahushai. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Hey, we receive this, and as the foreman on the job, all right, would be Apostle Tahar. All right, he would be the foreman on the job at this point in time. All right, to give us this knowledge and understanding and made it plain upon tables. All right, shortening it, okay, and breaking it down until a point where we could understand. Okay, and if you could say it a better way, you can as well.
Yeah, well, I was looking it up on Google AI. It says an abridgment is a shortened form of a written work, the act of making a work shorter, or the reduction of a right or freedom. Literature and text, shortened book, a condensed version of a long novel or speech that keeps the main ideas and core story. Easier reading, made shorter to help children or students read big books more quickly. Keeps the main characters and important events while cutting out extra details. Subheading was rights and laws, loss of freedom, the act of taking away or cutting down a right or a privilege such as free speech. A legal limit. It says a rule that reduces the scope of law or freedom.
And this is there you go. There's a parable right there. It's a double-edged sword. All right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, this word, that's another deep, dark mystery. All right? Another saying that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hey, is multifaceted. All right? In his word. Okay? it's not only made simpler for the student, all right, for that it may be easier for a child to understand, a babe to understand, but on the flip side, when you are taking away from the laws and freedoms and your freedoms are diminished, you have been diminished in this society. Why? Because you did not understand the milk of YAHAWASHI. So your freedoms as a sovereign in YAHAWASHI were therefore stripped away. So it is time to be reborn and relearn and receive the sincere milk. To come back unto YAHAWASHI, his way and his word. That was, you read 32, right?
No.
Okay.
Read through 32.
Read through 30.
Okay, 1 second. Let's see if there was any. Okay, verse. Jump to 32 or read through?
No, just 30.
Okay. Oh, you meant 30.
Yeah.
As well. This is 2 Maccabees 2 and 30. It says, to stand upon every point and to go over things at large and to be curious in particulars belongeth to the first author of the story.
Right. To go into the particulars. Lord willing, we be of the first fruit. All right. The author being YAHAWASHI, but as being part of the hopeful elect. All right. Lord willing, we do our due diligence to seek out everything that the author has set forth. All right.
Because at this time we don't know all. This is the Bible itself is an abridged version. Sakya, but is an abridged version of everything that went down.
Right.
And then when we prophesy, that's even a abridged version of the abridged version.
God, the scripture says we know in part, so we prophesy.
Kind of watered down.
Yeah.
We can only give you so much. And as we went into earlier, a lot of people not even on that same spiritual wavelength as us, so they ain't even gonna understand it. They'll be speaking to drywall. I got this real quick. Hebrews 12 and 2. It says, looking unto Yahawashi, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yahweh, his only begotten son, YAHAWASHI. He now has given us the ability to return back unto them so that we may receive the full story from the author. All right? As Sirach 5 and 15 says, be not ignorant in any matter small nor big. All right? YAHAWASHI. It is YAHAWASHI's good pleasure. All right, it is the Father's good pleasure to give us all things. How much more his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, his infinite education. All right? Mm-hmm. That we may receive all things in YAHAWASHI. All right, you got anything else?
Let's see real quick. How about else?
No, it's all good.
Waiting for Google to pop up this. No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Well, Lord willing, this was an edifying, uplifting lesson. We'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahawah Bahashem, Yahawashi Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the Bayashit Davidat, the house of David. To the next time, it's men of valor saying Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.